Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Happy Sunday to you. Taking a quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. And what we're going to do is just help understand, well, what's going to happen next, because we did break through this $100 mark, which I mentioned is a pretty big deal. And this is a very, very good sign here. So having done that, it's already come back down to retest that as a tentative support. So again, there's a decent chance that should hold and probably should continue higher, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop sub 40,000, right? Again, always got to throw that caveat out there, but that is essentially a thing here. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I do love teaching people to trade. I really hope you can learn something here today, of course. If you do want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. We got a lot of new members over here. I do recommend making sure that you reference my signals guide if you're new to the community. It's available in our Discord here. Extremely important just to kind of familiarize yourself with how the signals work. Because again, I've got my day trading bot that scalps the market essentially here. And then of course, we've got my Crypto Cash Premium group here, where we actually take some swing trades there, and they tend to hit their targets quite nicely. We hit a nice little Celestia target here this morning in about 4 days, 80%. So congrats on the community to that. Here, let's take a quick look at the backend data here and kind of go from there. So what we're looking at here is liquidation levels. Now, this is the last 7 days liquidation. We can zoom out a little bit here too, of course, but we're looking at about 109, 108 as the next level of liquidation, at least heavy concentration. A lot of longs got swept there at about $90, and of course, price came all the way down as low as 85-ish. So simply put, at this point, smaller time frames will identify heavier concentrations in shorter time frames, but that's generally where we're at there for the 7-day. We do take a look at the monthly. You can see once again that concentration at 109, 110, and then of course a secondary concentration at about 120. Okay, so there's not much to the downside honestly left here for this coin, which is a good sign. It implies the price should continue higher. Last but not least, in the 12 hours here, we can go ahead and see that there's a decent amount of longs entering positions here with confidence there at about $97, $98. Which again is somewhat of a support range. So 98 to 100 was a support range. Now that we're over 100, solid chance the price should come up here to retest this 103, 104 mark. Okay, so we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and quickly double check a couple things here. First of all, let's just double check the daily, and just to note that we are doing very well here. Absolutely, we are fully engulfing with the last 2 days, the previous red candle effectively there. And what we're doing is we're seeing the price action consolidate here at about this 0.382 level here at about $100.50. So as I mentioned before, $100, $100.50, that is somewhat of a resistance level. Closing above that today would be super huge. Okay, so that's a really, really good sign there. We can see stochastic is starting to swing up, hasn't fully converged yet, but we got that nice bounce off of 50 on the RSI a couple days ago. So all that stuff combined makes it out to be a pretty decent situation here. And we can see the MACD is trying to converge, but hasn't fully yet. So again, a bit of a lagging indicator there, but I think the key takeaway here is that the 200-day, the 50-day SMA is working ascendingly with this trend line. That's great, but we're now testing the 50-day SMA right there at this level here at about $100.50. Oh, no, correction, I'm sorry. That is the 20-day SMA. The green line there is intersecting with the price right now. So breaking above there, that's another reason why $100 or higher today would be awesome, because then tomorrow, of course, we'd naturally be above that if we just stay at 100 or higher. Okay, so again, being above that 20-day SMA is a super, super big deal. We are above all the smaller moving averages here, or just smaller time frame moving averages on the 4-hour time frame. That's a fantastic sign. Once again, they're all kind of aggregating there between 98 and 100. If we take a look at the MACD, or stochastic rather, starting to swing down a little bit here. This does tell us that we've shifted up for a little while here. And if we take a look at TD sequential, we're at an 8. Hypothetically, the price could pull back in the relative near future. We may reject out at 100, come back up to retest it. We could very well see this become the beginning of a cup and handle pattern. It's a little too early to tell, but generally speaking, we're getting overextended leading into this resistance level. So a little bit more amplitude would be nice, or more volume to continue to push the price action higher. Key takeaway here, though, is even though stochastic's kind of showing us that we're hitting the top swing here, we can see RSI and money flow index are both over 50. It's a very positive sign. MACD's been converging for about 16 hours, going on 20, so we're looking good there as well. All in all, very, very solid little push here. So once again, we got mostly bullish signs on both time frames here, and that's a very, very good sign. Keep in mind too as well, I mean, if you look at this and you compare it with Bitcoin, you can kind of see that there's a significant difference. It's no longer paired with Bitcoin being stuck on stupid. So again, all the more reason to kind of recognize that Solana has a great chance of continuing higher. We do got to recognize that we've wicked up a few times here to try to retest this upper trend line, and we still have yet to close above that. So again, whether or not it happens this time tomorrow or we close at $100 or just say the price consolidates where it's at and jumps up 2 days from now, the key takeaway is that it's inevitable for us to break this price action as long as we go sideways for at least another day or two. Now, is sideways action guaranteed? Not in this market, no. What's more likely is the price to try to break through, come back down and retest it as a support. We'll see, of course, what happens with that. But for now, let's go ahead and focus quickly on the Ichimoku Cloud and just recognize that once we broke through it, we came back down to retest the upper lead as a support. It hasn't looked back since. Once again, upper lead is hanging out right there close to about $98, which is, again, a previous support range between 98 and 100. So all the more reason to consider a long position over a short position at this point, specifically $100 to $98. That's kind of the range that I would say would be recommended for a purchase if you were, because again, if the price pulls back down, likely to see a bounce off the most recent high there at about 98. Okay. So again, those are all positive contributing factors here. There's no red lights here essentially, and everything's looking very, very solid. So I do really think that we're in decent shape here for this coin to likely continue to progress. If it does continue higher, our next resistance would be the 105 range. And then of course, just know we got that heavy liquidation level. Let's go ahead and just quickly go back here to the 7-day. The heavy liquidation once again here at the 109/110 mark. Okay, so we're getting closer to that. I think it's a stronger likelihood there. So if you're shorting this coin, maybe consider taking profit. Honestly, if you're shorting this coin and you haven't taken profit yet, you're probably being too greedy and you're doing it wrong. Again, who am I to say? Maybe you caught the top. It's all good either way. just know profits are profits at the end of the day, and it's important to be able to secure that to ensure that you are on the right side of the tracks. Last thing to make sure to double check too as well is we got our Bitunix competition here coming up on the 15th to the 29th. Make sure to reference that. That is a phenomenal exchange. You have to use my link to register first, but you get some nice rewards too for doing so. And the main reason why we use them, and I promote them, is mainly because they offer a good resource for our community. No KYC, no VPN. While yes, there's not a ton of trading pairs yet, they're adding more at the end of the month, and we're going to see some really cool stuff here coming forward. So thanks again, Bitget for awesome opportunity for our members, and thank you as well for you watching and learning as much as you can. I respect that, and I'm super happy to help. Obviously, if you want to join our Trading Academy community or Signals group, link down below, cryptocash.tech, where you can register, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time.